It's 5:45 a.m. and today is finally surgery day. I'm on my way to the hospital right now to get the knee surgery for my knee that I blew out exactly 7 months ago.
7 months after tearing my ACL and meniscus, it was finally time for surgery. I did one last cartwheel knowing it would be many months before I could do one again, and then I went in for my ACL reconstruction. When I woke up from the anesthesia after surgery, my knee was fully wrapped up and in a brace with a cold compress on. A few hours later, I was back home with a headache and some nausea, so I tried to sleep it off. After surgery, I couldn't feel my leg at all because of the nerve blockers they gave me. One day after surgery, I started getting a little bit of the tingling feeling back in my leg, but I still couldn't feel it all the way. I was awake because of pain overnight, which was kind of rough to deal with, and I couldn't lift my leg up like my other leg. I had no control from the knee down, so I had to use my arms to lift my left leg. I had a very small range of motion in my knee. 2 days post-op, I took off my bandages to see what my knee looked like. My knee was pretty swollen and the bandages had a lot of blood on them. I could get my knee mostly straight, but didn't have much bending range yet. 4 days after surgery, I had my dressing change appointment. The nurse sterilized and put new bandages on my incisions. At 7 days, I went out of the house and crutched around for the first time. On my 8th day after knee surgery, I had my first physical therapy appointment. I could mostly straighten my leg, and my top bend was 55 degrees.
Help my leg a little bit. Come on. Okay, that's, I think, as far as I can get today.
I couldn't flex my quad at all on my leg. It seemed like because they had made the graft from my quad muscle, it had just left the muscle a little traumatized and it didn't want to engage yet. I got sharp pains in my knee when I tried to flex it. On my 9th day, I went out to take a skate Instagram photo. Totally a bad idea. On day 11, I could bend my knee a bit further, but it felt like there was a rubber band pulling inside it to stop it. I still couldn't lift my leg up. On day 12, my knee bend was measured at 81 degrees, and my extension was 5 degrees past straight. I took my first couple of steps, but I was definitely not ready to actually walk yet.
Yeah, my first steps.
I finally attempted to drive 14 days after surgery. I still had to use my hands to lift up my leg because I couldn't hold it on my own yet.
Alright, I'm driving again.
I had a post-surgery checkup where they looked at my knee to see if it was healing well, and it was. My wounds were starting to heal and my swelling was almost gone. 3 weeks post-surgery, I moved to one crutch and started doing some no-weight leg presses and stationary biking. At 5 weeks, I was, to my frustration, still on a crutch. I started to try to entertain myself on a skateboard, but also that was something I probably shouldn't have done yet.
I still can't move this leg enough to ollie.
Finally, at week 6, I got to ditch my crutch and my knee brace. I could also almost bend my knee enough to touch my foot to my butt. At 10 weeks, I was still hitting physical therapy. I introduced some new exercises like lunges and bending over with weight. But at this point, I was still struggling stepping down steps. Just before 3 months, I went out for my first skate session because I felt like I had better control of my knee, but I still didn't have much strength yet. Sudden movements didn't feel great, and I didn't feel comfortable doing anything beyond pushing. At 3 months, I did my first single leg presses at 60 pounds and also started doing boxing classes. When I hit 4 months, I decided to try hitting a little rail on a skateboard. Kept stepping it up bit by bit at the gym. And was going to my weekly knee class at the hospital. At the knee class, we introduced more balance type exercises. At 5 months, I did more balancing exercises, and it was the first time I'd gotten cleared to jump. I also started spinning in my jumps for more dynamic movements. There was still a significant strength difference. I could pistol squat on my right leg, but couldn't squat very far on my left at all. I also tried rock climbing to test my knee at different angles, and it went pretty well.
Oh, hey, what's up? I'm just hanging out. Puns.
I started pressing more weight and also joined a ballet class to push my knee. And I continued to push my skating bit by bit. As I neared 6 months, I was getting stronger with jumps and finally landed a shove it, which I had been trying for months. At 6 months, I tested my knee jumping into water. I survived. I also did ice skating tricks just to see if I could. At 7 months, I linked up with Braille skateboarding and pushed skateboarding to a point I hadn't been pre-surgery with skating my first wall ride. I also took my first bad fall, but I was okay. I got back on my skateboard and kept trying to progress. I finally got to snowboard for the first time on Mammoth's opening day at my 8-month mark. I hadn't been officially cleared to ride, so I didn't know what to expect, but my knee felt great and I felt confident and happy. I tried my knee out on a park feature, but didn't feel super stable yet. I did 1-foot jumps for the very first time at 9 months.
Yo, stuck it. Last week I couldn't even jump up 2 inches on 1 foot. Hey,
And, most importantly, did my first cartwheel since surgery. Over the next couple months, I started getting more confidence in the snowboard park, and I let myself hit little jumps just to see how my knee could handle landing. At 11 months, I got really close to my resolution to single leg press 100 pounds, and then I actually hit it shortly after. I also stepped up to dropping into my first ramp on a skateboard since surgery. On my exact 12-month since surgery anniversary, I entered my first snowboard competition, which was a border cross race, and I won 3 of my heats. Then I hit an actual larger size park jump and was surprised to find out I felt great landing and could trust my knee again. The most important thing I can share about my experience with knee surgery is this. It is a long and often frustrating process. Some days you'll feel like you've taken a step back or aren't healing on the timeline you should be. But be patient. Give your body time and it will heal when it's ready. Remember, in the end, it will all be okay. If it's not okay yet, it's not the end. You'll get there one day. See you guys next time.
Life isn't perfect. It's messy and unexpected, but it's wonderful. You can find love, magic, and beauty all around you if you chase after it. So find what lights your soul up, then go out and carpe your happy.